Hi guys, welcome back to 100% Mags. So I hope you're all staying safe and well out there. So we're back again with yet another video on the channel to talk about again more Newcastle United transfer news, and of course there is an update on the Lucas Paqueta front as well. This saga has been going on for quite a while. Us Newcastle United fans really want to see Lucas Paqueta come to Newcastle, and it looks like he might be very close to coming this time with this update. Of course, there will be talk about Joao Pedro, as well as there's been another update on Joao Pedro. I did talk about him in the video yesterday, and I'm going to be talking about him again in the video today. Also, we're going to cover some topics that have been circulating around Newcastle United as well. And first of all of the topics, of course, is Newcastle have been offered the chance to, of course, have our own All or Nothing series, Amazon's award-winning documentary series. They've already done series on, Manchester City, Tottenham, and Arsenal. Were actually featured in the Arsenal series, of course, with Arteta losing his shit over them losing at St James's Park and missing out on the Champions League, which is a very funny episode. I really enjoyed seeing the clips of that online. I mean, he literally loses his temper with the Arsenal players, and clearly it's worked, because Arsenal's been firing on all cylinders this season since the Premier League has started. So clearly, whatever he said in that dressing room inside St James's Park, is obviously worked because he's got his team firing on all cylinders, and they're looking like a completely different team to what we took on last season at St James's Park when we come away from that game winners. But Newcastle have been offered the chance to feature in our own All or Nothing series. Netflix are also knocking on Newcastle United's door to have us feature in their version, which we all know, were rivals down the road, did feature in their own version of Amazon's All or Nothing series, but theirs was, of course, the Netflix edition, which we'll all remember the name of that one, and it was quite a hilarious thing to see, and we all had a good laugh at, of course, the Mackhams on that one. But if Newcastle do choose to go down this path, we do choose to choose the All or Nothing series, then it will be interesting to see how that does play out, what the cover in the series. Also, if we chose to go with the Netflix version, it'd be interesting to see how they approach that whole series. What do they cover in the series? And it would be a miss as well if they didn't call it Mags to Riches, I've got to say. Obviously, the All or Nothing one for Amazon would have to be called All or Nothing, but the Netflix one, we have seen, the Sunderland one was called Till I Die. And of course, it would be a miss if Newcastle's was not called From Mags to Riches, because it's just a perfect name, for Newcastle's. I mean, we've literally went from the absolute dire shit to the riches beyond our wildest dreams. It's just absolutely crazy, what has happened since these owners have come in. It's going to be amazing to see what happens going forward as well from here. But moving on from the talk about that, want to cover, of course, another topic. There was a Chelsea fan that, of course, met up with some Chelsea players at training. He's got pictures of Jorginho and that, and of course, some Chelsea fans were saying, was Broja in training today? And the guy says no, neither was Pulisic. So maybe could that be a hint towards Broja coming to Newcastle United, or could that be a hint towards Broja moving away from Chelsea to another club? Could it be a hint as well to Pulisic coming to Newcastle United, or could that be a hint again, to Pulisic moving away to another club because of, the fact that the guys saying they weren't there at training? So obviously there's got to be some factor behind that, or maybe they just weren't well and they just didn't turn up to training. It could be many different factors, but it looks a little bit promising, especially since I reported yesterday that Newcastle were looking at bringing Pulisic to Newcastle. So it's going to be an interesting one, and especially since Alistair McGowan, a Chelsea fan, said that Chelsea would not be willing to loan Christian Pulisic to Man United, given they are considered a traditional rivalry as well. So that boosts the odds even more in our favour of bringing Christian Pulisic to the club. And of course, the fact that, also circulating around about Newcastle United, that we are in the top 6 well-supported teams in the United States for fan bases. That, would be a massive coup. Bringing in Christian Pulisic, Captain America, to Newcastle United, that would really influence the American, fan base over there. It would really boost commercial sales over there in America for us. And, also the fact that he's a prolific player. He knows what he's doing. He's a consistent professional when he's playing in the Premier League. He puts in performance after performance after performance. So getting somebody like that in would be absolutely amazing. And like I say, Alistair McGowan coming out and saying that really boosts our odds. Also the fact of course, the lad as well saying that he wasn't at training, that also, boosts the chances. Could he be on his way to Newcastle United? For me, I'd absolutely love to say that Christian Pulisic is an absolutely fantastic player, and I'd love to see him join Newcastle United. But there's also the downers out there that are trying to pour cold water, or pissing on the cornflakes, if you will. And of course, it's him again. It's Luke Edwards, or Puke Edwards as we like to call him. He's saying NUFC's interest in loans from Chelsea for Pulisic and Gallagher are leading targets. On Pedro at Watford, there is firm interest but growing concern. He will not be allowed to move this window. Nothing close incoming, according to Luke Edwards, which is, the typical stance from Edwards. He always seems to try and pour cold water on every single piece of news that's out there, that could be a positive for it. And he always seems to do it, and he's even came out himself on many times, and said that he deliberately does it to wind up the Newcastle United fan base. Now, you've been caught out, you've been found out by us Newcastle United fans on many occasions, Edwards. You're clearly not a Newcastle fan, so just quit now whilst you've had your little bit of fun. Also, Panjay as well has been out again and had his bit of fun. Again, trying to sports wash and pick on Newcastle United and say about human rights and all that crap. But he didn't seem to have a problem, when he was screaming for the Saudis to buy Man United, Panjay. So it's just absolutely reeks of jealousy from these people. So you've been caught out, so just move along and get on with your lives, because us Newcastle United fans just aren't bothered with what you're saying anymore, because we all know as soon as we see your name, it's going to be something negative towards us and towards our fan base and towards our club. And, at the end of the day, yes, you're trying to sell papers, but at least have a little bit of consideration for the fans, after all we've had to go through over these past 15 years. It's absolutely dreadful that now, you're trying to really ruin something that's absolutely amazing at this club, and absolutely amazing moving forward as well. But moving on from that, we will talk about Lucas Paqueta, the man himself. Newcastle United are pushing ahead, according to Graham Bailey, who is a Middlesbrough fan, so you will have to bear with on that one. But he is saying that Newcastle are pushing ahead with a £33 million move for Lucas Paqueta. And of course, the news on that one is that he's saying, while the interest in Maddison still remains, NUFC's current focus is on Paqueta. He was valued at 50 million in January, but then is now believed to be available for around £33 million. Paqueta has thought to be open to the idea, of course, of joining Newcastle and linking up with his best friend Bruno. So that would be an absolute steal. I mean, £33 million for Lucas Paqueta. The work rate, I've talked about it so many times on this channel, about Paqueta in loads of different videos. The work rate between Bruno and Paqueta would be absolutely fantastic to see, and it would really boost work rate in that middle as well. You get Bruno in there, you get Joe in there, you get Paqueta in there. We are going to be a force to be reckoned with. You also chuck in the likes of Pulisic in there if we could get him in the door as well. You add in Joao Pedro. We could be going for a top 6 finish this season if you get them 3 players in, because that is a winning team. That is a winning combination, and it will be interesting to see where we go from here on that one. But that is massive, massive news. If it is true, of course, that, Lucas Paqueta is available for £33 million. Newcastle are pushing ahead a deal as well for him. If that is, of course, true from Graham Bailey, that would be absolutely huge. I'd really be all over that deal. Newcastle United should be all over that deal as well. Newcastle as well are preparing a new proposal for Joao Pedro. Like I said yesterday, after an opening bid around 20 million plus 3 million on add-ons was turned down a few days ago. Newcastle are discussing with Watford, and of course it will continue this week. The rumoured fee that is being talked about is 25 million plus add-ons. Could go up to 30 million for the player, as Watford are looking for £35 million valuation on Joao Pedro. Again, another Brazilian as well. So we're starting to buy in the Brazilian market. We're starting to buy them Brazilian players. And I don't see a problem with that, to be honest, because the Brazilian market is a good area to look. It's good international level to be bringing into the club as well, because them players are absolutely fantastic. If you're going to buy anybody, you might as well buy Brazilians, because they're one of the best international teams out there. And the Brazilians that we're looking at as well, I mean, Joao Pedro, Lucas Paqueta, we've already brought Bruno in. We've already got Big Joe in as well. It's absolutely sensational. You combine these lads together, it's going to be an absolute force to be reckoned with in the Premier League. And of course, adding on to that as well, Watford will decide soon also on Crystal Palace's interest in Ismail Sarr, which is confirmed as well. Another player that has been linked to Newcastle United, Ismail Sarr, maybe a one that we could look at as well, it bringing in. But we don't want to overload the squad too much, but we do want to be bringing in players to back up for other players that are in the team, strengthening in the areas that we need strengthening as well. And of course, with John Joe Shelby being out right away until December now, he won't be back until the game against Leicester City. So we definitely need some sort of cover in that midfield area to come in, because at the moment all we've got there is we've got Bruno, we've got Big Joe, we've got Little Joe, and we've got, of course, the Longstaff brothers, and we've got Elliot Anderson as well, who could be given a push into that area. Miggy Almiron can move into that area as well. So there is quite a few players that can play in that area, but we do still need cover, and it would be nice, like I say, to see Lucas Paqueta come to Newcastle United. We've been talking about him a lot. Us Newcastle United fans really want him to be here. He really wants to be here, and hopefully now, Newcastle United will be bringing Lucas Paqueta to Newcastle. But we'll see. Only time will tell. In the course, the transfer window closes on the 1st of September. It's currently the 18th of August as I record this video as well. So there's not that long left of the window. It's going to be an interesting one. Could we be very busy on transfer deadline day? It feels like we might be. Let us know your thoughts down in the comments below. Also, watch out for the match preview for the Man City game, which is on Sunday. I will be doing the preview today, and it'll probably be out on the channel a little bit later on, so keep an eye out for that one. do please hit a like on it as well. Share it around, share it to your friends. You know, let as many people know about the channel as possible, as I'm trying to push this channel at a higher level and really get up there, really get the exposure going as well for the channel. And also, if you do want to support the channel by donating, you can press the little button down below that says thanks with $1 in it, and of course you can put a donation to the channel. You will also get the chance to put a comment with your donation as well, so that would be really appreciated if you could do that. At the end of the day, you know, it all goes back into the channel to help the channel to grow. Until next time, I'll see you all later, and how are the lads?